I was talking with a colleague recently about how few people listen to End of the World as We Know It type podcasts, such as this one. And I think it's because they're so fucking depressing and grim. We're constantly reminded how awful things are and how much more awful they will become, with no credible way out. People tune out and become saturated. I used to think that art could help us with these entangled crises, but I'm starting to think that the role of art is more about the relationship between consolation and hope, as my friend and colleague Azul Caroline Duque suggests. Consolation and hope. So it's no wonder that we are saturated. I also understand the impulse to become enraged, as Joan Sullivan tells us in episode 106, Fire. What can we do about our collective indifference?
Well, we're just carrying on with our lives as if, la la la, and nothing's bad's happening. So there was this sense of rage. I mean, like, honestly, it's surprising how strong it, violent rage, just sort of coming out of me. I wanted to scream.
Saturated. So how do we channel our apathy and our rage? Dr. Jennifer Atkinson's Facing It podcast talks about the emotional burden of climate change and why despair leaves so many people unable to respond to our existential threat. Do you feel unable to respond to existential threats? Dr. Atkinson reminds us that our future remains unwritten, and by embracing the unknown, we are better able to reframe our thinking in empowering ways. She explains that the so-called negative feelings that arise in response to ecological disruption, grief, anxiety, anger, can be seen as signs of emotional health, while undesirable states like uncertainty are potential doorways to transformation. Climate anxiety might even be seen as a kind of superpower. In Generation Dread, Dr. Britt Ray reminds us that the age of eco-anxiety is upon us, and that the afterglow of climate disasters radiate psychiatric trauma throughout the globe. She also notes that, on the flip side, the tumultuous feelings that are on the rise are completely valid, need tending to, and present a great opportunity for justice-oriented personal, environmental, and social transformation. So where do we go from here? How do we address our feelings of saturation? Dr. Ray also suggests that the positive in all this is that the torment comes bearing gifts. if you explore its depths, you'll find a valve somewhere inside you that taps into the most existential part of yourself. Once you open it, a boundless stream of love, connection, and meaning will always be at your back, fueling what you do. A boundless stream of love, connection, and meaning will always be at your back, fueling what you do.
To wildfires. Matthew Bourbonnais, hello. Hi there. I just want to ask you, what could be done to better prepare for what seems to be the green fire?
We're talking about resources themselves. You see, obviously, having a lot of international resources to kind of fill the gap. Firefighters are all engaged. And I can't remember a season where I've seen armed forces deployed quite as much either across the country. And so obviously, there's resources there. One of the things to think about with
How can we tap into our boundless streams of love, connection, and meaning? Saturation.